UFC Vegas 105, Emmett versus Murphy. Quick picks, quick predictions. Let's get into it, boys. Before we go ahead and get into it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let's start off with the early prelim opener of Vanessa Demopoulos versus Talita Alencar. Starting it off with a banger, of course, in the Apex. I'm just joking, but Talita Alencar, man, I think she's trash. I think she's trash. She's 5-1. Somehow made her way to the UFC. She lost her last fight. Fair enough. I think she's gonna lose this one, honestly. When I look at Talita Alencar, I don't see any sort of damage or finishing capability in her. At least in Vanessa Demopoulos, I can trust in her to come forward, throw hands, try to win a fight. You know what I mean? I don't see Talita Alencar trying to deal damage and trying to win this fight as badly as Vanessa does. I think it depends on the will and who wants it more, who wants to get the decision, who wants to get the points going. I think Vanessa's going to do that. She's going to come forward with her jab, land the better shots, and she'll be able to threaten the takedown. She's also a little bit bigger, got a little bit of a better reach. I think she's just going to be the more physically imposing fighter in this octagon, man. To start off the night, I'm going Vanessa Demopoulos by decision. Pretty easy first pick. We move on to the next fight, though. Victor Henry versus Pedro Falcao. Not a bad matchup. Victor Henry, I wasn't sure if he was going to stay in the UFC or not. I think this guy's 38 or 39. He's getting up there in age. Coming off that loss against Charles Jourdain in Canada. He got subbed, guillotine choke pretty bad. He was shooting a takedown, got caught real quick, real easy, shooting with his head on the outside. You don't do that, man. But questionable IQ, but still with the questionable IQ, he doesn't have bad wins in the UFC. He is not a bad fighter, but his age is a major factor. And is he slowing down? Is he going to be able to finish a fight? I don't know. Pedro Falcao is coming off that loss to, I forget his name, the guy with the mustache, man. He's coming off a loss, which was kind of a boring fight. I'm going to be honest. It was a pretty boring fight. He clearly lost, but it was boring. I do hope that Pedro gets it going in this fight. Utilizes his ground game as BJJ, because we've seen that Victor Henry, he struggles with chokes and stuff. So I'm going to go with Pedro Falcao. I think he's going to be the fresher fighter. He's younger. I think he's hungrier. He wants to get a win in the UFC. He hasn't yet to get a win. He's good on the ground, and he does have some knockout power. He just hasn't really shown it. I think he could, prove some difficulty for Victor Henry, who's just aging. I don't think he's going to be able to really finish a fight like this against Pedro Falcao, he's quite durable, man, very durable, and I think he will finish Victor Henry. I'm going to go Pedro Falcao by KO or by sub. I'm not sure which one to pick. I'm going to go KO or sub. Most likely sub, though. I think he could get it done on Victor Henry, who just showed that he can't defend, and his IQ when it comes to shooting takedowns is not very smart. So I'm going to go Pedro Falcao by sub. We move on. Loma Luke Baum versus Istela Nunes, man. Istela Nunes is hot ass. She's hot ass. And I don't mean that like I mean, you know how I mean it. I mean it like she's shit. She's bad. She's a bad fighter, and she's fighting Loma Luke Baum, who is a good fighter. She's a good fighter. Great Muay Thai. If you've seen, her Muay Thai background, she's got a super good Muay Thai. Obviously, she's from Thailand. I think she's the only fighter from Thailand, or the only women's fighter from Thailand in the UFC. Great Muay Thai, right? And she's now implicated some BJJ. She's got a submission in the UFC, and she's got some really good wins, some really solid wins. She comes forward, she throws kicks. Her Muay Thai it's beautiful. It's really nice. And Istela Nunes is ass. She's bad. She shouldn't be in the UFC. Her record is 6-5 in the UFC. How do we have fighters 6-5 in the UFC on a 4-fight loss streak in the UFC? She came into the UFC 6-1, has not won a fight since. All right, she's been finished back to back by KO, and she got subbed in her first fight. She's been finished 3 times out of her 4 fights in the UFC in women's strawweight division, okay? She's ass. She's bad. Istela Nunes is bad. I'm picking Loma Luke Baum to get either a KO or a sub. I think she will finish Istela. There's so many holes in her game. Luke Baum has great Muay Thai, like I'm saying, man, and she's now got good BJJ. She's mixing it up. I think she will find a finish in this fight. So I'm going to go Loma by KO or by sub. Easy, man. Istela is bad. Like, I don't understand. I understand we're in the Apex. I get it. You want to put the bad fighters in the Apex. We imagine if Istela was supposed to fight Molly McCann on UFC London. Imagine in front of a crowd. I know they wanted Molly to get the knockout. That would have been nice. Molly might not be retired right now if Istela stayed on that card and she fought Molly. She probably would have gone KO'd, and it probably would have been, fight a performance bonus of the night, and Molly would still be in the UFC. But Estela's bad. You don't want to put her in front of a crowd, so I get it. But she shouldn't even be in the UFC. But besides the fact I already moved on, man, Reese McGee versus Daniel Frunza, pretty good fight. Daniel Frunza, absolute dog, man. He got his win on the Dana White Contender Series. Nice knockout. He powered through. He got hit with some good shots against a very good kickboxer. He powered through. He dug deep. He got the ground and pound. I think he finished him on the ground, if I remember properly. And Reese McGee, another guy, man, who is 4-0 in the UFC. And I'm not talking 0-4. I should say 0-4 in the UFC. This is crazy. Back-to-back 0-4 fighters in the UFC. I mean, Reese McGee is also ass. He's been getting a bit better. He did have a tough task when he got to the UFC. He fought Hamzat Chimaev as his first fight, got knocked out badly in the Apex, if I remember. That was brutal. But since then, he's not picked up a win. Had a close fight with Chidi and Jaquani last time out, but he still lost that one. And I think he's going to lose this one. He's very susceptible to power shots, and Daniel Frunza throws power shots. He knows how to dig deep. He's very powerful, and he can throw some serious overhand rights to damage Reese McGee. I think he's going to drop Reese McGee, finish him on the ground, kind of like his Dana White Contender Series performance. I just don't see McGee being able to win this unless he pulls up a submission or a heel hook or something off of his back. He pulls guard, because Reese got a couple submissions, and Daniel Frunza's only 2 losses are by submission. But I don't see that happening, man. If he does pull guard, Frunza will land nasty ground and pound and finish him on the ground. So I'm going to go Daniel Frunza by like round 1 or round 2 TKO. I don't see Reese McGee surviving this one. We move on. Diane Belbita versus Dion Barboza. Kind of similar names. Diane is bad. She's bad. I'm sorry, she's bad. Dion Barboza, decent. Not like a prospect, but she's pretty good. Diane has showed that it's Diana. Why have I been saying Diana and Dion. Jeez, it's confusing. Diana has showed that she's got bad ground game. She is not able to defend takedowns. She's not able to defend herself when she's on the ground, when people have her back or have her arm. And I just think that's going to be the scenario in this one, where Dion Barboza has great BJJ. She's able to get takedowns. In her last fight, she was able to get some takedowns. She did lose that fight, but it was still close, and she fought a very tough girl, Miranda Maverick, who we know is a good striker. She is also good on the ground. She can defend takedowns very well, but I don't think Diana can defend takedowns. I think Dion's going to get this to the ground. If she's smart, she'll get it to the ground and look for a submission, where Diana just hasn't been able. I keep mixing it up, man. Diana has not been able to defend submissions. She's been submitted by arm bars, rear naked chokes, and guess what Dion has on her record, man? Arm bars and rear naked chokes, which are very nice. They're nice arm bars, nice rear naked choke. She's got 3 submissions out of her 7 wins. So I think there's a solid chance she could pull off a submission. If not, it's going to be a pretty dominant decision. I would say 30-27, honestly. But I'm going to go Dion Barboza by submission. I think Diana's she's too weak on the ground. She doesn't defend takedowns. She doesn't defend her back. If Dion gets her back, she's done. So I'm going Dion Barboza by submission. We move on. Davey Grant versus Daniel Santos. This is actually pretty good matchmaking. I like this fight. Davey Grant, you look at him, you're like, how the hell is this dude in the UFC? But he's a good fighter. He digs deep. He beat Carlos. Oh, I was about to say Carlos Vera. Cheeto Vera. He beat Cheeto Vera. I was a long time ago, but then he rematched Cheeto and lost. But it was still a good win. He's had some good wins, right? He beats most of these bums. Recently, he beat Ramon Tavares. He beat most of these bums, and he just loses to higher competition. He knocked out Jonathan Martinez. That's a very, very good win. He's got good wins on his record, but he is aging, right? He is aging, and there is a question of his durability at times. And against Daniel Santos, it will be interesting, because Daniel Santos trains at shoot the box, very good striking, and also great ground game. Of course, the shoot the box guys are all great BJJ artists. I think Daniel Santos has a solid chance to sub Davey Grant, but Grant is tough, very durable. I think this will go the distance, and I'm going to side with Daniel Santos to land the better shots and get it to the ground at some point and be the one on top position, or have Davey Grant's back threatening chokes. I think he's going to be the one scoring those points by the threatening threatening chokes and landing better shots on the feet. I don't see Davey Grant really injuring Daniel Santos or being able to get top position on him. But Davey Grant is tough. He is a good underdog. I believe he is the underdog in this fight. It's a solid underdog play. We'll talk more about that next week, though, when I get my dogs picks video out. If you guys haven't seen that, go check that out on the channel. I've been doing it for the past couple weeks, picking my 3 favorite dogs, giving them to you guys. Best dog picks. Last week we hit pretty good. 2 out of 3 dogs hit. So we'll keep it rolling next week. But Davey Grant is a solid underdog, but I am going to go Daniel Santos by decision. We move on. Ode Osborne versus Luis Garul to end off the prelims. Ode Osborne coming off that loss to Ronaldo Rodriguez, where it's very close. He basically knocked him out in the first round. All right. I mean, it was a crazy, caught his leg, big overhand right. Ronaldo's eyes rolled to the back of his head. His head hit the canvas. I thought it was a knockout. I thought it was a knockout for sure. And then if not that, then when Ronaldo survived, man, Ode Osborne is on his back, throws up a triangle, has a triangle locked in. Somehow Ronaldo Rodriguez survives. I don't know. I don't know. He was in the triangle for like a minute solid. He survived, and then the next 2 rounds, Ode was just too gassed because he put all his energy into round 1, and then he lost the decision. But he's fighting Luis Gurul, who is also a pretty good fighter. He's decent. He's coming off that split decision win in Dana White Contender Series. It was close, very, very close. He got taken down sometimes. He got held on the ground, but he did land the better strikes. And in the striking exchanges, he was cleaner, more crisp. His boxing's very good, but he has a very short reach. Man, this guy, I mean, I know Ode Osborne has one of the longest. I think he might have the longest reach in flyweight, but Luis Gurul has a 64-inch reach. Ode Osborne has a 73-inch reach. There is a 9-inch difference. And not to mention, Luis Gurul, man, when I look at this guy, he's stubby. He is stubby. I'm sorry, no hate to Luis Gurul. I'm pretty sure he's 5'2", 5'3". He's stubby, all right? Ode Osborne's going to have a huge size advantage. He's much more seasoned in the UFC, and I think he's going to be the more dominant one in this fight, man. I think he will be able to hurt Luis Gurul, get the takedowns, land the better shots, and I think he could find a finish. I'm going to go Ode Osborne by KO. I think he will finish Luis Gurul. I think Luis Gurul's a decent prospect, but his last fight was very close, and there are holes in his game that I think Ode Osborne can, extract, if you want to say. So I'm going to go Ode Osborne by KO to end off the main prelim fight. We're going to move on to the main card. Torres Finney versus Robert Valentine to open up the main card. Solid fight, boys. Solid fight. Torres Finney, the only dude in the UFC to have to win 3 Dana White Contender Series fights to get into the UFC. Absolutely ridiculous. Dominated all 3, man. First fight, I believe he got a submission. Second fight, he got a decision. And third fight, he just got a knockout. I mean, he showed them everything. He showed them the whole bag. He showed Dana White the whole bag, all right? He may have an interesting build. He's 5'8" at middleweight. Crazy. I mean, look at his neck. Look at his... Dude, how do you even submit that guy? How do you even submit Torres Finney? I don't know. But Robert Valentine, he's coming off the loss on Dana White Contender Series versus Ryan Loder. He got TKO'd, but it was a very scrappy match. He almost won, almost had a submission. Then he got stuck in a crucifix, got elbowed to TKO. It was pretty brutal. I am going to go Torres Finney, man. I am going to go Finney. He's very well-rounded. I mean, Torres Finney, look at his build. You look at his build, you look at his height, you're like, what is he doing at middleweight? But this dude is very, very good, okay? He can throw high kicks, body kicks, shots to the body, shots upstairs. He can take it to the ground. If he's laying on top of you, he's like a bowling ball. I mean, you're just stuck on the ground. And I could easily see Torres Finney going for the takedown, getting a solid double leg on Robert Valentine, and looking for a submission. I'm going to go Torres Finney by submission in round 2. Round 1 or round 2, he gets it done, man. This guy is efficient. He's dominant. He showed that he deserves to be in the UFC, and I think he's way better than Robert Valentine. So I'm going to go Torres Finney by submission in round 2. We move on. Brad Tavares versus Gerald Meerschaert. Nothing to be said about this. Give me GM3 by submission. Easy win, boys. I'm not fading Gerald Meerschaert, all right? We're going our boy GM3. Brad Tavares, I still think he's ass, all right? I still think he's bad. He got knocked out by Bruno Silva. All right, that's all you got to say. That's all you have to put out there. He got knocked out by Bruno Silva. GM3 sub Bruno Silva, easy. GM3 has the most submissions in middleweight, I believe. I think he has the most submissions, most finishes in the UFC, I'm pretty sure. And, I mean, GM3's the guy, all right? He's still the guy. He's coming off that close loss to Rainier de Ridder, but we know how good RDR is, man. This guy's looking like a huge prospect. He's already in the rankings. And GM3 is still solid. And I think he's just levels above Brad Tavares. I think Brad Tavares is nearing the end of his career. I still think GM3 is good. And I think once he gets a takedown, Brad Tavares is going to gas out in round 2, round 3. And GM3 is going to be able to take over and find that neck. So I'm going to go GM3, find the neck. He's either going to get an arm triangle or rear naked choke. I'm going GM3 by submission in round 3, man. Late round 3 submission. Let's go GM3. We move on, though. Kennedy Nzechukwu versus Martin Buday, man. They be feeding Kennedy all these blobs. They be feeding him all these blobs. This should be an easy fight for Kennedy. Since he's moved up to heavyweight, he's killed 2 blobs off. Lucas Brzeski and, oh man, I forget his name. The really fat guy. Like, no offense to him, but like at heavyweight, he's just really short and really big. I forget his name. But knocked them both out, back-to-back fights. I mean, at heavyweight, he looks really good. Really good. Kennedy struggled at light heavyweight. At heavyweight, I mean, this dude's like he's kind of like a Jailton Almeida, just not like on the feet. Like on the feet, Jailton Almeida. Really good striking. He's not a blob. He's dynamic. He's still fast. I think he KOs Martin Buday fairly easily. I'm going to go Kenny Nchukwu by round 1, round 2 TKO. Martin Buday is decent, but he only beats blobs. And he lost to the blob king himself, Shamil Gaziev. He got knocked out by the blob king himself. So he's not going to lose. He's not going to beat Kennedy Nchukwu. I don't see a path to victory for Martin Buday. So I'm going Kennedy, round 1 KO. Easy stuff, man. We move on. Cortavius Ramios versus Chang Ho Lee. I'm not excited for this fight. I think this shouldn't be on the main card. This is a boring fight. Cortavius Ramios lost his last fight to Gaston Bolanos. He was a big favorite coming in off Dana White Contender Series. He's still good. He is a good fighter, but we saw his holes in his game. He struggles a bit on the ground. On the feet, more like he struggles on the feet. He got beat up on the feet by Gaston, and Chang Ho Lee's very good on the feet. He's very good on the ground as well. He was on road to UFC. He fought in Macau, I believe, if I'm right. And he's very well-rounded. Really, really well-rounded. I think he can take it to the ground. He can stay on the feet. I think he's going to be way faster than Cortavius, and he's got a mad, huge height advantage. 4-inch height advantage. That's pretty solid. I think Chang Ho's going to cruise this one to a decision. I'm going Chang Ho Lee by decision fairly easily. I don't think Cortavius is really UFC ready, UFC prepped. His Dana White Contender Series fight was pretty good, but he just got beat up by Gaston. I think he's going to be beat up by Chang Ho Lee fairly easily. So Chang Ho Lee by decision, man. We move on. For the co-main event, Pat Sabatini. My stuff is... Oh, my Lord, what is going on? What is going on? Yo, my stuff is tweaking. I don't know if it's messed up for you guys or not, but Pat Sabatini versus Joanderson Brito. I'm still going to break it down, man. Pat Sabatini, Joanderson Brito. Okay, it's actually tweaking out, man. It's actually bugging. Okay, I think we're good. Pat Sabatini, Joanderson Brito. My bad. Technical issues, boys. Pat Sabatini, Joanderson Brito. Co-main event. Not a bad fight. Pat Sabatini's coming off that sub over... What's his name? Holy moly, man. I forget his name. I think he's out of the UFC now. He's coming off a nice submission. Was on the back, man. He was on top of him. Got the submission. Real clean. Good work by Pat Sabatini. Joanderson Brito's coming off that robbery loss in Paris to William Gomi. I don't even want to hear it, man. William Gomi robs Joanderson Brito of that split and then goes on to lose to... Who did he lose to, man? He lost to the new guy. He just lost in the Apex, man. So just completely killed Joanderson Brito's career. Now he's fighting Pat Sabatini. I think Brito wins this fight. I think he's more damaging on the feet. Pat Sabatini, we've seen holes in his game on the feet. I think he can get knocked out fairly easily. I'm going Joanderson Brito by KO, but Pat Sabatini's live on the ground. He's live. When he takes your back, he's got great rear naked choke. He's even got a heel hook in his game. So we'll see what happens, but I think Joanderson Brito finds the KO. I think he'll be able to deal with Pat Sabatini on the ground. So Joanderson Brito by round 2 TKO. We move on, though, to the main event, Josh Emmett versus Lerone Murphy. Not a bad main event. Kind of an expected Apex main event. Sucks to have Josh Emmett in an Apex arena. I mean, come on, UFC. Come on, man. Really? Josh Emmett in the Apex? I mean, this dude is pay-per-view material. We love Josh Emmett. Last time out, knocked out Bryce Mitchell cold. One of the knockouts of the year, man. Completely slept him. Brutal knockout. And now he's fighting Lerone Murphy. He's been out for a while. Josh Emmett's been out for a while. He is aging. I won't lie. I do hope he wins, but I am going to go with Lerone Murphy to get the decision. Josh Emmett's really, really tough. His chin is granite. I mean, he's one of the only guys to have survived Ilia Topuria. Him and Yusuf Zalal are the only guys to survive Ilia Topuria, and he survived Ilia when he was just about to fight for the title. So, I think Josh Emmett is going to survive this fight fairly easily. I think he's got a higher chance of KOing Lerone Murphy than Murphy's got to KO him. That's for sure. But I do think Lerone Murphy's going to bounce around the octagon, play it real safe, poke the jab, throw the kicks, the body kicks, the head kicks, the leg kicks, get a takedown or two if he needs to, hold Josh Emmett down. It's going to be boring. I know it's going to be boring. I'm sorry to break this to you guys. It's not going to be a fun fight. I'm going Lerone Murphy by decision. I do hope Josh Emmett TKOs him in round 2 or round 3, but I do see Lerone Murphy winning this one. He went to a decision with Edson Barboza. I think it's going to be the same outcome as that fight. Give me Lerone Murphy unanimous decision. And I just hope Lerone Murphy doesn't get a top 5 off of this, but he probably will. I mean, he's a fun fighter. Don't get me wrong. Lerone's fun. He's coming off that win over Dan Ige, but oh man, he's just kind of boring, kind of a decision merchant. I would love to see him get a finish, but he's not going to get a finish against Josh Emmett. So I'm going Lerone Murphy by unanimous decision. But that is the entire card. Also, what is this? What is this wallpaper that they created, man? This looks like it's straight out of Toy Stories. I don't know what I'm looking at, but If you guys did enjoy the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop your comments down below what your picks are, and I will catch you boys in the next one. See you.